Hello, Sarah of SCK Handmade here, and today I am so excited to share with you the side star stitch. Let's go! For this tutorial, you're going to need yarn in any weight. Scraps you have laying around will be perfect. I'm going to use two colors, one to make a little swatch to work my border on, and then another color to add my border in. You do not need two colors for this. You can just work all in one color if you'd prefer. For my yarn, I have kind of a heavy worsted weight or light bulky weight yarn. The next thing you're going to need is a coordinating hook. Since I have a slightly bigger yarn, I'm using a USJ10 6mm hook. Before we get started on the actual tutorial, you're going to want to do a little prep work. Go ahead and crochet a little swatch of your favorite stitch, whatever that is, just a few rows so that we have something to build our border on top of. I worked 20 chains, worked into the second chain from my hook, and worked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of half double crochets. Go ahead and pause for a second, make yourself a little swatch to work your border on, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the side star stitch. Once you have your swatch ready to go, you have a choice to make. Are you going to switch colors? Are you going to go ahead and fasten this off? Or do you want to be able to tear this yarn back and be able to use it again? That's what I'm going to do, is switch colors and tear back. So what I'm going to do is work the first part of my half double crochet, and then I'm going to join my purple yarn by adding it onto my hook and pulling through all 3 of my loops. If you're doing a border, which you probably have done was fasten this off and started the border fresh, you can absolutely do that as well. Now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go ahead and pick up some loops in this chain that we just created. I find this easiest to do before I turn my work over, but that's personal preference. You can go ahead and do it however you would like. I'm also going to be picking up my loops in the back bump. That just leaves the nice pretty braid on the edge of my border here, but that's, again, totally personal preference. We're going to go ahead and skip our first chain closest to our hook and insert into our second chain and pull up a loop for 2 loops on our hook. Next, we're going to insert into the third chain and pull up a loop, and the fourth chain and pull up a loop. I now have 4 loops on my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to turn my work, pull up a loop in the first stitch of our fabric and the second stitch of our fabric. That gives me 6 loops on my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I'm going to yarn over, pull through all of those loops on my hook. You don't have to pull through all of them all in one fell swoop. You can go ahead and just pull through them 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. Don't rush yourself. Also, if this loop falls off of your hook as you're pulling through, don't panic. A lot of times you can stick your hook back in a couple of these loops, grab this one, and continue pulling through. But also, it's totally okay to start over if that happens. No big deal. After we've pulled through all 6 of our loops, we're going to chain 1, 2, and then we're ready to work our next side star stitch. To work our next side star stitch, we're going to insert our hook into the second chain from your hook again. So insert into that chain we made, pull up a loop. Then we're going to insert into the center of our previous star stitch, pull up a loop there. Then we're going to pull up a loop in the final leg of our previous star stitch, so right through there, pull up a loop, 4 loops on my hook. Then I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook into the same stitch as our last side star stitch, and that gives me 5 loops. We need 1 more loop, so I'm going to insert into the next stitch, which doesn't have anything in it yet, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 6 loops on my hook, and chain 1, 2. We're just going to keep doing that across the row. Pull up a loop in the second chain from your hook, pull up a loop in the center of the previous side star stitch, pull up a loop in the final leg of the previous stitch, pull up a loop in the same stitch as the previous stitch, and pull up a loop in the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through all 6 loops, and chain 1, 2. Let me point out real quick exactly where you're placing your hook so that you can have a really clear view of where we're inserting. You're going to insert your hook through the second chain from your hook. Then we're going into this little center part right here of our previous star stitch and pulling up a loop. Then we're going to work in this last leg of the previous star stitch, pull up a loop there, insert into the same stitch as our last side star stitch and the next stitch. That's how we get our 6 loops on our hook. Let's go ahead and work all the way across, and then we'll talk about how to finish that very last one. I worked all the way across my fabric, and now I have just 1 stitch left. So for this last one, I'm going to go ahead and insert into my second chain from my hook, the center of my previous star stitch, the last leg, the same stitch, and the final stitch, yarn over, pull through all of those loops on my hook. Unless your pattern tells you differently, you have a decision to make here. You could chain 2, fasten off, weave in your ends so everything looks nicely. But what I think I'm going to do so that this edge matches the same as this edge is I'm going to go ahead and, without making any additional chains, I'm just going to work a double crochet in the same stitch, my very final one, as my last side star stitch. That gives it a nice anchor and allows you to then just fasten off and weave in your ends. And there you have it, a beautiful side star stitch border. Such a fun and beautiful stitch. I hope you're able to use this often as a beautiful border to lots and lots of great projects. Do keep in mind, if you're working around a corner, you're going to want to put some extra stitches in the corner to go around, and when you finish off, you're going to join your last side star stitch to your first side star stitch. Say that 10 times fast. Thank you for joining me today. I would like to remind you to subscribe, like this video, share it with a friend who might enjoy this border. Until I see you next time, happy crafting!